Hey guys, so this week I've been playing Dynasty Warriors 7, which if you don't know is all like, it's in feudal China, and it's all hack and slashy, and you like kill a bunch of dudes, and you like cut through them, and it's a big sort of beat 'em up, but war beat 'em up kind of dealy. If you've never played it, it's kind of, it's pretty self-evident once you like see a video of it, which you're about to if you continue to watch, which please continue to watch. Oh my god. But anyways, is it good? I've never actually personally played a Dynasty Warriors game, but I know that there's like some animosity. Some people freaking love these games, and some people really don't like these games so much. But what did I think? Well, here's my opinion of Dynasty Warriors 7.
The Dynasty Warriors game series is always centered around the very turbulent times in feudal China. In fact, it seems like every one of the games takes place in like the same time period with the same battles. I imagine that would get kind of boring, but thankfully this is my first foray into the Dynasty Warriors games. The concept of these games is easy enough to grasp. You pick from one of many characters with silly over-the-top weapons and then just hack and slash your way through thousands of hapless troops on your march to victory. Waves upon waves of these troops will crash upon you and you'll just sort of effortlessly cut them down. The combat in this game is not super complex. If you're expecting a brawler like a God of War type game, then you're going to be a little bit disappointed. There are a number of different weapons that you can equip for each character, but for the most part you're really only using 2 buttons until you charge up your super move. I've always been a big fan of these beat 'em up games, and I'm clearly a very skilled martial artist, so I was hoping for a more in-depth fighting system that would really reflect my own fighting skills.
It takes more than just words, it takes more than just passion, it takes more than just dreams. What it takes is pure action, reaction to clasp on any confrontation waiting among the mist, and to be able to perceive from what you're seeing.
Your overall goal in each of these battles is mostly to get from point A to point B. Sometimes it's, escort this person from point A to point B and make sure they don't die, but most of the time it's cut your way through all these troops and get to point B, and then kill this one dude, and then victory! Along the way, you'll have to complete menial tasks sometimes, like, oh my god, you gotta protect our supply lines, and oh, take out these siege engines, which, for the most part, is, hey, you see that blinking part of the map? Go there and kill everyone there, and then, you win. All of this adds some variety into the things that you do, but it is kind of frustrating sometimes. You'll be out running around the battlefield cutting through dudes and you're like, man, I'm doing really well, I'm almost to the general guy that I gotta take out, and then they're like, oh my god, you gotta come all the way back to the beginning because this one dude who is unimportant and doesn't really help you at all throughout the entire game is being attacked, and if you don't help him you lose, and then you don't make it in time and you lose, and you're like, ah!
Believing is one thing, but you gotta learn to utilize. Sacrifice is life, no lie, you gotta brutalize.
The game comes with a number of different single-player campaigns where you take on the role of different protagonists, factions, sort of things, but for the most part you're covering a lot of the same battles. You're kind of doing the same things over again. Of course, the reward for doing all the same things over and over again with the just different characters is that you unlock more characters for the Conquest mode. In Conquest mode, obviously, you conquest. You go through all these battles, a lot of them repeats of things that you've done before, but in doing so, you sort of progress down the map and try and take over, I guess, China or something. One of the cool parts of Conquest mode is that as you pick up, new weapons and skill up your characters a bit, that progresses through the entire Conquest mode. So as you get more powerful, you continue to be more powerful. You don't have to worry about it resetting every battle.
Overall, I have to say, it's a pretty interesting experience playing Dynasty Warriors because I'm new to the franchise, obviously, and I'm sure a lot of what I've said and explained about this game, and people are like, that's old, they haven't done anything new. As far as I know, everything about it is new because I've never played it before. But it's interesting. It took me a while to get into it. At first, I wasn't, I didn't like it so much at first, but then I started playing the Conquest mode and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, now I can see why people are enjoying this. It is fun. It's a little mindless. There's a lot of grinding and stuff, but you kind of it reminds me of playing like an MMO. You kind of, like, put on a podcast or listen to some music and tune out and just mindlessly slash through all the guys. But overall, it's an interesting game. If you've never played Dynasty Warriors, you might want to pick this one up to try it if you're interested in it. But if you've played them before, you already know if you want this game or not, because I don't think it does anything different according to what my research at least, from any of the other Dynasty Warriors games.
Any competition, opponents or enemies to exceed, they gotta bleed, make them fall to their knees.